Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Good morning and welcome to the Sticks Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds this bank holiday morning. And any of those of you who've not tuned in before and listened to the Sticks Radio Show, tell you a little bit about the show. Today on the show, we've got two great guests. We have John McNally, he's one of the original members and guitarists with the Searchers. And those of you who watch Britain's Got Talent, and the lady who won in 2012, Ashleigh, along with her dog Pudsey. Pudsey's not going to be with us today. She's on the show later on in the hour. And also I'm going to tell you what's on in and around Milton Keynes for the next week or so. Anyhow, let's get the show started. And this is from my first guest, John McNally, the guitarist with the Searchers. This is the fabulous Sweets for My Sweet.
Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. Let's start a chance so brightly to match the stardust in your eye. Darling, I would chase that bright star nightly and try to steal it from the sky. And I would bring sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. To keep you smiling, I'd tell the Sandman you were blue, and I'd ask him to keep that sand up piling until your dreams would all come true. And I would bring sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. Your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go. Sugar for my honey, your first sweet kiss thrills me so. Sweets for my sweet, sugar for my honey. I'll never ever let you go.
That's Sweet for My Sweet from my guest today, one of the original members of the Searchers. It's John McNally. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you.
How are you doing?
Very good, actually. Yeah, just come off from a little tour up in Scotland, and I went very well.
That's
and,
good.
Before that, we just come back from Australia, so all's well, health's well.
I can't. I'm jealous.
Fine.
I'm jealous. It's somewhere I've never been, Australia. I've always wanted to go. I'm into cricket, and it'd be a great pleasure to go out there. But
well, our roadie, our tech guy, he's a sound engineer. He loves cricket, and as soon as we go out there, he's visits all the grounds.
Oh yeah,
back here, and he does them all. He took me one. In fact, we went to a game a couple of tours back. When funny enough, it was England versus Australia, and England actually won on a night match. It was great.
Yeah. Lovely to get our own back for all those times we haven't won.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's a great place if you ever get a chance to go.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you're coming to the stables in June, and it's your birthday. Well, not your birthday, but the group's birthday. It is 54 years since you started.
I know.
Unbelievable.
Madness, isn't it?
Do you know what?
It's very odd thinking about it, but it's the history is there, and you can't deny it. And it's I mean, let's face it, and it's such goings on in our sort of history, people dying and leaving, and it's it's a book on its own.
I know. Well, I don't want to worry you, but your band is 2 years older than I am.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm a few years older than that.
Well, so you've been together 54 years, so that makes you about 60, does it? Now we
Yeah, I'll go for that one. I'll buy that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll buy 70.
Well, we won't. I mean, it's been interesting. A few months ago, or a little while ago, I had the Rubettes on from the 70s.
Oh, Alan.
Alan was on, yeah, and
yeah.
he was fabulous. And I found out from him that he was born in the same town as me, which is...
Good grief.
We had some great fun about it.
Yeah, he came to see us, Noz.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's got a family who lives in Calandra. And he always comes out to tell me play it.
Okay, well...
Every year.
He may come and see you at the stables. We'll mention the date anyhow. I mean, the I can't believe it. I say 54 years.
I know.
You recently, a couple of years ago, you did, well, it's a few years ago now, it's 8 years ago, you did an album of the very best of the Searchers, which I have. And
yeah.
And I can't believe it made I can believe, because the music is fabulous, made the top 11, and you were stopped making the top 10 by Mr. Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? A few more sales than we'd have done it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, yeah. I mean, that was... I've forgotten all about that.
Had you?
It got so much in our brains. You forget these things, you know. I did an interview this morning. The bloke was going on about the Wembley gig with Cliff Richard in '89.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did that. I remember
that. Yeah. Well, you must have done so many things. I mean... I was looking up the biog, and the people you've actually played with, or in fact, you've headlined.
Yep.
Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, the Temptations. You've headlined for those bands. There must be some great stories with working with those.
Well, it's funny. I think the same thing this morning. I was mentioning people. The main area which is being untold is the Star Club days with us and the Beatles in the early '60s, when all the bands were getting their sort of schooling from the likes of the Everleys who were on Star Club, Fats Domino, Ray Charles, Jerry Lee, Joey D and the Starlighters, Tony Sheridan, who was a forgotten man of the pop, really.
Yeah.
And loads of American acts, Fats Domino, unbelievable, Gene Vincent. All these people were on there when we were on, and it was like you learn a lot from those American acts in those days.
Yeah.
And even after that, when we were playing like Del Shannon and Bobby V, we toured Britain with them, and they were great. They taught you a lot, how to handle audiences and what to do at meet and greet at the end of the night, which is always very important. And we took all this on board, and I think, they taught us a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I say there's two of the original members of yourself. Yeah. You're the guitarist, and then we've got a gentleman I've had on the show a few times, Frank Allen, who's quite a storyteller. He's told me a few stories about Dusty Springfield and a few other things, which we won't mention today anyhow. So.
Don't mention that.
I know, he's...
You'll have to buy his book for that.
I know, but he gave me a little brief glimpse. Last time he was on, he gave me a little bit about the Dusty Springfield incident. Because I had the great pleasure of looking after Dusty when she was over here.
Really?
Back in the middle '80s, it would have been with the Pet Shop Boys. I looked after.
That period, yeah. Dusty's it can be a cantankerous young lady, but she can be a bugger.
She was absolutely sweetness and light for me. I used to cook for her every night. I used to cook her sardines on toast. Would you believe?
Really?
Yeah, it was. And to me, she was one of the greatest singers ever.
Ah, superb. But we used to talk with her all the time.
I know.
She was in the same office as us, Tito Burns, and Tito was a manager, and we used to do all the early tours with her. But she was crackers. I mean, I know that Frank told you about the story. We had a record out called "What Have They Done to the Rain." Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do indeed.
It's a folky thing. Yeah. And, hello, that was my computer. Telling me off. Yeah, a lot of these old theatres have stone steps, the backstage, it's very stone. And when we're doing What They've Done to the Rain, she used to go out and buy a load of odds and ends of crockery. And she's just, and you know what's going to happen. She'd just say, "What have they done to the rain?" Next thing you hear this bang, crash, wallop thing. She'd drop all the crockery down the stairs. Just to wind us up. But it was all good fun. The audience liked it.
I knowing the sort of the heritage of the band, I know there are some great stories. We've covered a lot of them in the past, but
yeah.
I mean, how did you get the Searchers together? How did it all?
It's simple. Well, it wasn't simple. In the Scuffle Group days, I mean, we had a Scuffle Group at St John's Road and Kirkdale, Liverpool. And basically used to play all the lads. We had all families who had merchant seamen in their families, and we'd bring all these great records home, and guitars as well. And we used to play on the street corners. And then one day, this a friend of ours who was one of the last of the call-up gang in the army had just left the army, and he'd had a skiffle group in the army. And he said, he had his guitar with him, of course, and he said, "Do you fancy starting a little group?" We said, "Why not? There's enough of us." So we got a load about 8 of us with guitars. We used to sing Take Somebody's Man and Freight Train, all those things, Chas McDermott stuff and all. You know, it started there, and then when the rock and roll started creeping in, when we getting these records from the States, my brother used to bring them in, and we thought, electrified gear, and we thought, and Lonnie Donegan, the next minute you get this, The Girl Can't Help It comes out, with Gene Vincent and Eddie Cochran, you think, my God, and suddenly the bug hits you, and you're hooked.
Yeah. And of course, you stole Frank from the famous band Cliff Bennett and the Rebel Rousers.
Yeah, it was weird. It was when we did the Star Club, Cliff Bennett went on, and we used to sit and watch Cliff because he was a great singer, and he still is. And
yeah, I saw him a couple of summers ago. He was great.
He's very good, and the band were great, and they did a couple of songs that we thought were very good. One was Needles and Pins, and one was There She Goes. And we thought they were good songs, you know, Needles and Pins in particular. But they had a brass section which sounded a bit odd to us with the song. So we actually tracked down the original, which was by Jackie Shannon, and did our version of it. And luckily, you know, thank God we watched Cliff Bennett.
Yeah,
of course, Frank was playing bass for Cliff Bennett at the time, and because he didn't drink, and we didn't drink, we sort of palled up and went to Chinese Cats and all that kind of stuff in Hamburg. And we got on well together, and then when he was going solo, he was the obvious choice.
Because, I mean, in that era, there was a lot of bands recording or recording either American songs or other songs, you know, more than it happened now, because nowadays in the charts, or if you call them the charts and call them songs, you know, they're their own sort of property. But there was, I think it was one time in the charts, and Night Had 1,000 Eyes. I think there was 3 versions of it in the charts at the same time, or something ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you got all that. I mean,
you know,
basically all those bands in those days were basically tribute artists from the catalogue of the American songbook, really. And we used to do it in our own way, particular way. I mean, the likes of Money, some of the guys, Twist and Shout, all the bands in Liverpool were playing them songs, but we all sounded totally different.
Yeah.
So, we didn't dress like them, but we just played their songs.
Yeah.
And but the catalogue that came out of America at that period, because all the coloured artists were actually some fantastic records, and that were never heard over here, never reached this bloody coast. So basically, thank God our sort of family members were bringing these records home, and it was really superb.
I mean, I think it's no secret you come from Liverpool. I think you just mentioned it. I mean, Liverpool has this hive of talent. I mean, music and also sort of like theatre and also comedians.
We do have a lot of comedians. Funny enough, I was speaking with Tom O'Connor the other day.
Oh,
he came to the show, and Tom's on a cruise at the moment. And
lucky fella.
Oh yeah, he's lovely. Tom's great.
He's a great guy.
And there's loads of comedians like Stan Borden, and I know Stan very well, and he's just totally funny all the time.
And of course you got the great Jimmy Tarbuck.
Oh, Jimmy was there. Again, we saw Jimmy the other day. We did a big tour for Jimmy at the Savoy Hotel.
Yeah, and I mean, you got that, and of course the legacy of the music. I mean, it's still happening now. You got the Beatles, you know, yourself. There's loads of bands come out of Liverpool. Why do you think? Why do you think that Liverpool seems to be the epicentre of talent and with music and all that sort of thing?
I think it's the baby boom at the end of the war, wasn't it?
Was it?
We've always had that sense of humour, which was slightly alien. Frank calls us an island. He says, but Liverpool's an island. I totally agree sometimes, but we were lucky in that respect. We had being a seaport, like Newcastle. As soon as we made it, some of the other towns, like Newcastle, had some great artists coming out of it. And then London as well, and then Birmingham. I mean, it was all happening. It's just that the Beatles basically opened the door for everybody. Once Brian Epstein persevered, knocking on record companies' doors, bringing attention to Liverpool, then the Beatles had Love Me Do, and then they created Hysteria. You get the A.R. men coming up to Liverpool, signing everybody up.
Yeah,
and
Jerry and the Pacemakers.
And thank God for the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jerry and the Pacemakers to speak.
Jerry had some great hits. I don't think Jerry gets enough respect myself.
Well, he's one of only 2 people to have the first 3 records go straight in at number 1.
Yeah, he would have had number